Welcome back to Grid Autosport, and we are going to finish this Formula C Championship with, I think it's the final event. Let's go check the standings. We are in first by 32 points, which is jolly good. That's very good. That's a good lead. So, I mean, 2 average finishes will secure that, I would say. Raven West are bound to win it if I don't. So I shall head to qualifying. I won't record it because it's just a bit unnecessary, so I shall see you after qualifying. So I have qualified in 4th place. It seems to be my favourite position. Quite a far way behind 3rd, but a bit ahead of 5th, which is very interesting. We do not get the 2 points. Rick Scott gets the 2 points for the pole position, but I was struggling in that qualifying session. Interestingly, I was in 9th, 10th, and 11th for the first 2 laps, and then finally the last lap was much better than the previous, but it was. Wasn't that great, the qualifying, so we shall head to the race, 6 laps around the Hockenheim short course. We shall see what we can do from 4th place. We should beat the kicker cars as long as we stay in 3rd. Well, as long as we can get 3rd, then I think we should be okay for the championship. But that requires passing the kicker car, but it looks like we've done that already. Then we have a good chance on Wesley as well. As we go up his inside, do we? We just keep us inside. He does actually push us, forces us to cut. What a mean person. I've also noticed that for some reason I now have unlimited flashbacks. I did not change that intentionally. I think that may have happened because I changed it in Custom Cup. I'm not too sure, so I shall check that out for next time. But anyway, I don't plan on using any, hopefully. So we have taken the 3rd place, which is the most important thing, I guess, for now. But it would be nice to actually take the win, but I'm not too sure, considering the pace in qualifying. I wasn't enjoying it to begin with, and then the last lap was better. I've just found a bit more of a rhythm in these cars. I think I do have a bit more of a rhythm. The first 2 laps were just awful. I had no rhythm at all. But this is much better now. Although I say that, and there's a big spin. It's probably because I got a wheel on the wrong side of the curb, and that doesn't help when losing the rear end. So that was one flashback. Hopefully the only flashback. So we need to catch up to Wesley. Really, we should be able to. And we got the toe. Although there's no super big straight. I mean, there is a straight here, but it's a corner, and it's not that big anymore because it's the short circuit. And also they take a bit of a wide line for some reason. I don't know why they're not up to the curb, but oh well. And the double apex right-hander always causes me problems. Double apex corners. Don't know why. It's just a mental block on them, I guess. As Wesley was a bit out of shape going through the left-hander there. And we are not free from the kicker car of Kennedy. As Wesley is once again very much out of shape as we get a run. We could dive up his inside. Ooh, bit of contact. Accidental contact, of course. Not intentional. No. Never intentional. Could we dive up his inside for the final corner? No, we can't. As we have the slide on. It's not a problem. He has pulled away because he gets a better exit because I had a bit of a slide, but that's not an issue. Because we can get a good run for turn 1. And we get the slipstream and we should be down the inside. Although he's braking later than us. Once again, he's forcing us to cut the corner. The dirty, dirty Wesley. But no matter, we shall grab the toe here. And you can tell the lack of wind is a good sign. Oh, we just give him a bit of a tap. No problem. As we go very out of shape for that corner, but so does he on the exit. Completely loses the rear end. And Kennedy is becoming a real threat. We really want 3rd place, just to make sure that The Ravenwest boys do not take the championship. We do not want that to happen. Although we are all closing on Rick Scott. Also, interestingly, he doesn't seem to have the pace at the moment. Because we've not been at great pace, and all three of us have caught him. It's Wesley once again. He's sliding all over the place, is Wesley. And we're halfway through this race, and we have a run on Wesley, which we do not want going into turn one. We actually end up sort of cutting that because we get onto the curb and it just spits us out. But at least we don't get a penalty for that. Otherwise, that would have been a bit of a pain. Wesley defends the inside, even though I wasn't that close. But we should have a run on him now. Yes, we do. We are going to grab the toe. And he is not... Is he going to defend at the last minute? Hopefully not. Because we are already down his inside. But we don't outbrake him. That was the main corner that I was having issues with in qualifying. So that's probably why I'm quite tentative in terms of braking through there. As we get slide through the left-hander. And every lap, Wesley is running a bit too wide. And then he's getting it loose at the rear. And Rick Scott has realised that we have closed. And he is starting to pull away again. Although a nice run through the right-hander there is helpful. And we have once again actually closed up to him. Well, we didn't get the turn in there, and we didn't get the line. We have pulled away a bit from the kicker of Kennedy, which is good. That's the main target, really. Anything else is a bonus. As we actually have the slide, but we have a good run because of it, and we have a potential overtake in turn one. And, well, he turned in on me. I had the corner, so it's not my fault. So can we catch Rick Scott now with 2 laps to go? Well, it's quite possible, considering his pace has been quite poor in this race. We could catch him and overtake him with 2 laps to go. That'd be good. Because then we'd get an extra point for... Do we get a point for lead? Oh, I've missed the braking zone completely. Won't use a flashback. No, it's an extra point for fastest lap, which I don't know if we have currently. We might have it actually currently. I did set a fastest lap earlier, and I don't know if that was the fastest lap. And I don't know if that's still there. Hopefully it is, but I'd be surprised in ways. I'm going to take a bit too much curb there, but no problem. And it's the final sector where Scott is struggling, it seems. That's where we really close on him. Every lap we've closed on him in this final sector. And then in the middle sector and the first sector, he's just a bit pulling away. But if we can latch onto him, he shouldn't pull away. So final lap, we need a good run through turn one, which we don't really get. No penalty though, but we were actually slower, so it's a good thing we didn't get a penalty. Braking at the 100-meter board. Not really getting the apex, and it causes us to go a bit too wide, and Rick Scott has pulled away. Probably too much now. Probably too much. Although we have the gap on Wesley, which is the most important thing, as we missed the braking zone once again, but actually it was a better braking zone. That's where I should be braking. As I said, I was tentative through there, so that's probably why, as we run wide there for some reason, and we got the apex, but we must have been carrying too much speed. And for once, too much speed is a bad thing. No. But into the final complex, there's Rick Scott. Again, it's just that right-hander, it seems to be, where he just really struggles for some reason. And that's where we just really close up to him. But that is second place, unless we can abuse the drag strip, but no. In fact, we need to watch out where we're going ourselves, but that is second place for the first race, which is good, considering we started 4th. Progress is always good. 8 minutes, 10 seconds. We shall compare that to the next race. We did not get the fastest lap. We were actually... It's actually like the 4th fastest lap, so we were the slowest of the front leaders. That's not a problem, because we got the second place. So we don't get the extra point for fastest lap, but we have actually extended our gap. And I think surely that is too much now. I think we have won the championship. But you know, there's another race to be done. We need to improve. We need to win this race, really. Let's see if we can change the, where is it? Flashbacks back to 5. We don't want unlimited. Because that was taking XP away from us, a heck of a lot of XP. My god. Yeah, we don't want that. Anyway, to the race. 6 laps, starting in 4th again, I believe. Yes, we are. So let's see what we can do. And yeah, our teammate 15th. I completely forgot about him last race. That's how hopeless he is. So we're going to take a bit of a tighter line initially, but we couldn't quite find the gap alongside the kicker car to really take advantage of the run. I presume he's still on the inside. Yes, he is. And he just slides into us. Nothing we could have done, but we have gone around the outside of him. So that is a good start. At least we are past the kicker car. And where is everyone? They've dropped back so far already, the bulk of the field. So we are trying to brake later now for this right-hander, and we can do it later than we were before, which is nice. It's a bit more time found. And we don't want to run quite wide, but we've done a Wesley on that corner, run too wide and lost the rear on the curbing, but it's not a problem. And our teammate is in 16th. Oh dear. He's not very good, as you can guess. So we are already latching onto the back of Wesley and Rick Scott, so we can have a race-long battle with them to try and win this race. Wesley was slow through that corner. We got a bit tied up as we do again. Gravel trap just about saves us almost. I mean, it was a good first lap, but it was a horrible last sector, well, last corner, just alone. But we get turn 1 right, and Wesley is weaving, strangely weaving all about the place. And we are back onto their tails after that awful last corner. And we have brought the kicker car alongside us, along with us once again, which isn't a great thing, but they weren't a problem last race, so hopefully they'll not be a problem this race. I am braking a bit earlier because we had a tow, amazingly, from Wesley. We had a lot of overspeed than normal, and we don't want to let the kicker car through if we're braking early, because that is the one thing we don't want to do. But we are in the tow again, which is good. And they have destroyed the polystyrene board. Tut tut tut. We may have a dive up the inside. Going to the left-hander, yes we do, and it's clean. No contact. Lovely. Now I need to hunt down Rick Scott for the lead. And we have more laps to do it than last time. We use the drag strip. We run a bit wide, a bit of understeer when it's not needed, and a bit of oversteer when it's not needed. But we need to keep an eye out on Wesley. We do not want him stabbing up the inside when we least expect it, as we get a penalty, so he will stab up the inside, although he himself was wide and had a bit of a moment. We have let Rick Scott pull away, which we do not want. But if this is the same as the last race, we should be able to catch up in the final sector, which is where they were struggling mostly. And we also want to keep an eye out on the fastest lap, because an extra point or two is an extra point or two. Although Wesley has a run on us, and we do not want him up our inside. So we shall brake as late as we possibly know we can, and make the corner, which we do. And we keep the position, and oh, we cut that corner. We're cutting the corners again, but no problem. It's always trying to find the fastest line, and sometimes you take a bit too much out of the corners, as we accidentally do there again. We got a bit loose at the wrong time, and that sort of sent us to sort of cut that corner, but we didn't get a penalty. It's probably slower cutting that corner because of the grass, and it's a fast corner. Oh, and that's a harsh penalty. That one's harsh. It was a big penalty as well. Youch. What was that, like 3 in one lap? Oh dear, we need to have 0 this lap as we run wide, but we need a fastest lap, and the kicker car has actually passed Wesley. This is interesting, and the field is now catching up to us because we had a woeful lap of corner cutting and penalties. Because we got the oversteer when we didn't want it. Double oversteer there. So when we corrected the oversteer, we got even more oversteer, which is not helpful. But we are free from the cars behind, sort of. We have a bit of a gap, and we need to catch Rick Scott, really. We are halfway through the race. We don't want to come up this corner. There we go. Although, it wasn't too quick in comparison to Rick Scott, which is a bit of a shame. Could do with a better exit. This right-hander, we don't want to cut this. And Rick Scott, he's definitely slow through that right-hander very specifically. For some reason or whatever. And we might even have a run through the right-hander. Can we dive up his inside? No. Thought better of it. We could have stabbed up the inside, but that would have probably ended in a collision. Which we do not want, really. But we are in the tow, which is nice. Very nice. Yes, I know Raven West are leading this race. I'm right behind them. All I can see is Raven West right now. We're going to brake early because we had the tow, so we don't want to risk it. And also, they tend to chop us off in that corner if we dive up the inside. But we are definitely in the tow now. And this could be a potential overtaking spot. If we get the overspeed, we have the overspeed. We're going to brake earlier than normal, but that wasn't early enough, evidently. We get by for about half a second. We are straight onto the back of him, and as he has a horrible left-hander, we almost touched the back of him, but we did not, so all is well. Yeah, he's definitely slow there, definitely. I had to hop onto the brakes. We almost hit the back of him again there. Maybe his car, the setup that they use is just poor, I don't know. Oh, we almost ran into the back of him again. So we are about to start the final lap, and we are on his gearbox, but we need to overtake. That was our best lap so far, and it was better than the previous race by a long way. Fastest lap, a hell of a long way, probably almost 2 seconds faster. Gonna have to brake early. I don't like overtaking into this corner because they chop us off. But this should be our best bet, this right-hander after the straight, as long as we get the overspeed. And we are getting the overspeed now, and we're braking early. But he's just gonna, well, he went for the chop. We were just about alongside him. We were wheel to wheel, my front with his rear. We need to be a bit more creative with these lines to try and overtake, although there may be an opportunity in the fast right-hander if we can get the tow, because that is where he struggles. So we're going to take a different line, although he braked in the way. We could not get in there. We could not get him. So our only bet is through these final 2 right-handers, but I don't know if that's going to happen because he's just that bit too far ahead for it to happen. And he's just that bit too slow as well. That he's braking it on the apex, which is an issue, although I thought we might have had the run there, but we had just that bit too much oversteer to really challenge. That's second place though, which is alright. I mean, it's not a problem. We were 1 second faster than the previous race, and we have that lovely fastest lap, which is quite a bit faster than anyone else. The kicker car of Kennedy was the closest, interestingly, and then Wesley did get back in front of him. But that means we have won the championship by 33 points over Rick Scott, who must have nipped second there with those 2 wins. And we get a few sponsor objectives. I mean, we didn't leave for a lap. We without collisions. That's a bit hopeful. And finished 3 places higher. We almost did that, but not quite. But we still win the championship, which is all that matters. End of season 4. Thank you very much. We did the team bonus, which was stupidly easy, and we did the team target, which was also stupidly easy. We have unlocked another championship. We didn't quite get the win in the sports prototype challenge, but we were close. And let's see what we have unlocked next time. We are getting all the XP in open wheel. We can enter a new endurance championship. Why are they choosing us? Because of our open wheel. It's a bit interesting. Now we have 12 offers in open wheel. So we can now have Formula B. And I presume we're not far from Formula A. But this is good progress in open wheel. So we have 3 more to do here. 1 in Formula C and then 2 of the extra cups. 1 in Formula B and just Formula B. And 1 in Formula B with an Aerial Atom V8 cup. Next time I may try and do a different thing. I may go to street or something. I'm not too sure. But I will see you next time.